Originally released in 1995, Mega Man V2 is the sequel to the hit Game Boy game Mega Man V.
No, actually that's a 7.
After the events of Mega Man 6, Dr. Wily gets sent to jail to pay for his crimes against humanity. However, as the game informs us, Dr. Wily accounted for the possibility that his plans might end in failure, so he hid 4 robots away. These robots would activate 6 months later and bust him out of the slammer. 6 months? So what, is it like a premature birth? An early robot birthing? Was Dr. Light invited to the baby shower?
This game has a long introduction sequence that unfortunately you can't skip.
Dr. Wily's making a huge prison escape and Mega Man and Dr. Light are just standing there. Okay. Why?
Mega Man 7 introduces Otto and Bass, 2 characters who would become mainstays for the franchise. Though Otto is treated like he's always been there, a big deal is made about Bass's presence.
Bass becomes Mega Man's new rival. He even has his own robot dog like Mega Man does, except it's a wolf. Mega Man's got a new robot buddy, but he doesn't look very happy.
In order to end his reign of terror, Mega Man must defeat the 8 Robot Masters and reach Dr. Wily's castle.
Junkman? More like Spunkman.
Sam, do you know what spunk means?
Yeah, it means he fights with courage.
Mega Man 7 came out in the wake of Mega Man X, so there's going to be some inevitable comparisons to X and the classic Mega Mans. The game has an intro stage like Mega Man X, which is something that really differs it from the classic games.
When you turn on one of the NES Mega Man games, all you see is the Robot Master screen. Here, things are a little more complicated. You have an intro stage, then you fight 4 bosses, then you have a mid-intro stage, then you fight 4 more bosses, and then you reach Dr. Wily's castle.
Or you can be a cheating bastard and mess around with the password system.
Oh, I see we got the winning lottery numbers right here.
Not sure if it's just me, but I swear, compared to the NES games, Mega Man's jump seems to have a bit of a delay.
Yeah, Mega Man's a platformer, and the major focus is on timing your jumps for the blue bomber so he can stay alive. But he feels too floaty when he jumps in this one. It feels wrong, and it makes me question some of my jumps. I still feel like Mega Man 7 manages to be a solid platformer. Once you get into the game, you get used to his jump, and it isn't as big of a deal.
Even though we're in a new system, Mega Man 7 doesn't stray too far from the established Mega Man formula. Mega Man's trademark ability to copy the Robot Masters returns, as well as several upgrades. What sets Mega Man 7 apart is that this game encourages exploration much more than previous Mega Man games. There's hidden paths everywhere, and those paths can lead to all sorts of power-ups, like Proto Man's shield, and the beat whistle.
Talk about a mega slap to the face. I got guts. What you looking at?
And of course there's the Super Adapter Armor, which is a composite of the Rush armors from Mega Man 6.
This thing's pretty cool. It lets Mega Man hover and then turns his fist into a rocket. But you can't slide when you have it. No slide for you. It's a bit annoying that you can't switch the Rush power-ups as easily as you could with the Robot Master weapons. You have to go to the main menu to switch them.
Auto Shop is a new feature. If you find screws, actually they're bolts, which are dropped by enemies, you can collect them and use them as currency for parts like lives, energy tanks, and upgrades. Auto Shop is very useful. It can help you out a lot when you're trying to complete the game. But I have to mute the TV whenever I enter it, because that song makes my ears very sad.
Auto Shop, come spend your money here. I really like the designs for the Robot Masters in this game. But man, whose sick idea was it to put robot cockroaches in this game?
Actually, Sim, according to the art books, those are called cockroaches. with a G. Wily Stage 2 sounds a lot like Thriller.
Cause this is Wily, Wily, you better not sue me, MJ's family.
The majority of the game is fairly manageable. The difficulty spikes up in the Wily stages, and that final battle with Dr. Wily is one of the hardest in the entire franchise. Mega Man 7 is one of the hardest games in the classic series to find. It had a very short print and is crazy expensive. Mega Man 7's inclusion in the Anniversary Collection gave it a new lease on life. It's not a perfect port though. There's a few issues with the music playing properly, and they cut out the ending, but it was acceptable for the time and exposed more people to the game. With Mega Man 7 being on the Wii U eShop, it has its first standalone release in almost 2 decades. I'm getting old. So if you ask me, it was a welcome re-release. Mega Man 7 is a very accessible game you can recommend to just about anybody if they're curious about the series. The different paths and power-ups are good enough to satisfy anybody's curiosity for hours on end. Unfortunately, it's overshadowed by a few other games in the franchise, but that's no real fault of the game itself.
Mega Man 7 is a fun platforming game for the whole family. Grandpa, Mom, Dad, and Uncle Joe can all enjoy Rush, Dr. Light, Bass, and Mega Man for the 7th time. Check it out on the eShop. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Well, Hornet Man doesn't come till later, so I guess that doesn't really count. What game is it?